Creating my own little interactive chat games has been a goal of mine for a while now. And after recently learning some new tricks, I decided to create a little something. Alright, so what you're seeing right now is a little animation I created for multiple knives, and the goal here is to have chat type a command and be able to open those cases with a random chance of getting a specific knife. So we have bronze, silver, gold, diamond, and titanium. I wanted to make it very, very simple, low effort, fun, while still building anticipation. So in this video, I am actually gonna provide you those assets for free, and I'm gonna show you how you can have it in your chat with a couple steps. So this video is gonna be in two parts. The first part is basically how to get this on your stream as fast as possible. I then created a whole action using streamerbot, but instead of going step by step, I'm just gonna give you a file that you can drag and drop and have the action. On the second part, I will actually go and elaborate step by step how I created this. Anyways, let's begin with part one. First things first, I need to give a shout out to this YouTuber. This is where I learned how to do RNG using streamerbot in the first place. This video right there is basically the core of all of that. And this video has 3 examples for 3 different games that you can create using RNG. So if you want to learn more and actually support someone who's giving out valuable information, go drop a subscribe on this channel. They also give out some free assets if you want to create like a different looking game, right? Because maybe some of you don't like the whole knife unboxing thing. All right, let's talk about the real first step. Go to gumroad.com/Gael. I'll put a little panel up there and click on this one, knife case animation for streamers. Once you click there, what I want you to do is, first of all, read the description. Always read the description of whatever you're downloading. You know, make sure you know exactly what you're getting. It will say that it is 5 WebM video files for bronze, silver, gold, diamond, and titanium, and also 1 streamerbot action file. Also, it's currently listed as free, but if you want to give a tip, you can do so by just typing the amount in here. But if you do not want to tip, I have to let you guess what the number for free would be. You also get a couple of previews in here. So that's the preview I showed you. And then we have this individual, that's the diamond knife. And this one is the titanium knife. All right, once you're done with the price box, you click add to cart, enter your email, and you will have 6 files in total. So let's take a look at the files that you will get, starting with the bronze. And I'll also put the audio so that you can hear the sound effects that I designed for this. So that's bronze, and yes, the sound effects are gonna be different depending on the rarity. That's silver. A little punchier than gold. We have a higher note and then some sparkles, I don't know, some chimes, some wind chimes. Next up is diamond. More chimes, higher frequency, more shiny, and finally titanium. Very sparkly. So at this point, you have 6 files. You have your 5 WebM videos and 1 streamerbot action file. We're gonna start with the OBS portion. So in OBS, what I want you to do is create a brand new scene. You can do that by going right here, clicking on the plus, and I want you to name it knife, full caps. Now, this is important that you have the same name because the action in streamerbot needs to match the names. Click OK. Now, under sources, you want to go add source by clicking on the plus, and you want to find media source. That's how you can add videos. Here, I want you to type the name of the material with the first letter being capital. So we'll start with bronze, and then click browse to locate the bronze video file. Okay, mine is right there. So I'm gonna click open and click OK. As we can see, it actually plays the video. So the process once again, you add a new source by clicking on the plus here. You go to find media source. You name it the name of the material, first letter being capital, silver. Press enter or click OK. Click browse, go find it. Mine is right there. Double click and click OK. And I have silver, I have bronze. And I'll skip the rest. I think you got it. All right, once you're done, you should have all 5 videos like that. And now we're gonna set up the audio so that it plays like an alert so we can also hear it when it plays. So in my audio mixer, on any source, I'm going to click on the 3 little dots and click on Advanced Audio Properties. And you can see up here, I have a list of my audio sources. What we're gonna do is all the sources we just added, so those 5 videos, bronze for example, I want to go and put monitor only mute output. That way when it plays, and we can test it right now, we can also hear it. So let's do the same for the rest. And then we're done with this part. Click close. And one last thing we'll do with the sources is actually shut them off. So hide them for now. Next step is to create a text source. This is the text that will say, hey, this person got gold, got silver, or got whatever. So click on the plus to add a new source. Click on text GDI and call this one knife text, just like that. So only the K is capital. Click OK. And now you can type a placeholder text like L level, and I'm going to press return, got a silver knife. Okay. And then from there, you can stylize it the way you want. That is entirely up to you. You can download fonts, you can give it a color and all of that. I'm going to go select font. I'm going to select a font that I have that you may not have, which is Montserrat is one of my favorite fonts. Set it to bold, click OK. There it is. If you scroll down, there's a bunch of other options. You can make it a gradient, give it background color. But what we're looking for is alignment. And under that, we're going to set it to center. All right. It's kind of like a paragraph center. That's all I'm going to do to the text for now. Remember that if you want to customize it, that's up to you. And we'll click OK. Okay. From there, you have your huge text and you're going to place it roughly, well, definitely in the middle. It should snap a little bit, exactly where you want that text to appear during the animation. Somewhere like this, maybe like that. And you can always test it by making one of the videos visible. I think that works. Now we can also hide the text and also that bronze that we just used. So that is mostly everything you need to do in OBS Studio. Just create a new scene with the right name, put your 5 videos, make sure that you can hear them, and add a text source. Now let's get to streamerbot. So the streamerbot action actually looks like this. It's called Knife Game, and it has 5 folders for each element, and it also has 1 trigger. But since we're doing the lazy one, what I want you to do is go to import. You'll see this thing here open up, and then I want you to take that streamerbot file that you also had with the videos. So knife game action by Gael level. I want you to click, drag, and drop. All right, you'll see this action will be created, and all you have to do is click import. And then poof, it will appear with all the folders, hopefully. Nice. So by default, I have this so that if you type a command in my chat, the command is !pull, it will play one of the videos. In other words, it will open a case and have a knife come out. If you want to edit the command, all you have to do is go to the commands tab and it's right there. Double click. That's the name of the command. That's the actual command itself. You can make it !open, for example, right? Most importantly, you can add some cooldowns. Now, I actually highly suggest you go and add at least a 10 seconds cooldown. And if you stream on YouTube and you want people on YouTube to be able to use it, it's right there. You can turn that on and boom, now YouTube people can type the command and trigger the animations. I think in general, a global cooldown might be good. 10 seconds, that's how you would put it. And click OK. Hopefully, with all of that, you're good. But if you're not good, I would suggest you watch the second part of the video where I explain step by step how I created this action and every single sub action that goes into it. Because let's say, for example, you messed up, or I messed up actually. You see here how it says bronze, but the B is not capitalized. That tells us that we should probably go back in OBS and make sure that the name of our source is actually bronze with a small b. You know what? This is the perfect test of I hope you watch the whole video. Check out the comments. If someone is complaining about the action not working for bronze, you'll know they did not watch the video all the way through. But also, if you're more familiar with streamerbot and all the things that can trigger, you would like this to be a channel point, it's all there. You just have to switch the trigger or add additional triggers. It's all right there. So Twitch, YouTube, Trovo, it's all there. You want it to trigger on a new subscriber on YouTube? It's right there. Just add this as a trigger. Channel membership, gift membership, all there. Channel point reward, right there. Reward redemption. Now to quickly explain, Each one of those has a text GDI modify thing. So if it recognizes the text, the first thing it does is take the name of the person who triggered the command and then replace the text saying that username got this knife. Can we test it? Probably. We did change it to open, right? I think I have another command called open. Let's try. There it is. And we can see that my text is not centered, which is fine because we can always turn it on and make sure that it is centered. Oh yeah, I already have an open command. Oh God, my bot is freaking out. All right, welcome to the second part of the video where I'm gonna start by explaining the step I took, how I made the animation, which software I used, and then we'll go into streamerbot and we'll go line by line on every single sub action. It's not a lot really, so let's do it. It all started in one of my favorite softwares, Blender 3D, where I created the animation. So the first thing I modeled was the box. So box plus lid, very, very simple, just cubes and some extrusions and stuff. What you're seeing here is actually the shiny parts, which was my first time doing like a shine effect inside of Blender. So that was like a big learning moment for me. You can see all the little flat things here. Those are lights. And this is what I'm using to light up the scene. Basically, I have a light, like I have so many lights. For the knife, I did not model it myself. It is from a plugin called Blender Kit. And those are basically models that are available for commercial use. I did choose a different texture every single time to get my materials. I believe if we go here, we can have a list of pretty much everything I tested right there. So those are all the different materials. Some of them I tested for the box. So if you see things like cardboard, I did not intend on having a cardboard knife. But yeah, pretty basic. And then after that, I had to create a different project so that I can animate the whole thing. Once like this looked good, I was like, you know what? Let me go and actually animate it. Oh God, it doesn't like that. It doesn't like that at all. And I always separate my projects with one with the models and then the other one with animation, just to make sure if I mess up during animation, I still have a backup. All right, so here we have the animation and I use like null objects to drive the whole thing. I had different empty objects control every single part, basically the lid, the bottom of the box, and then one to control everything, and then one for the knife. Here I use a noise modifier to actually make it shake, and then I eased it in to make it seem like it was rumbling more and more until it opened. And here it might look like a camera movement, but what I did is just pull the box behind like that, do a little rotation, and then finally it would spin back out. Boom. When it comes to rendering, I put some motion blur to make it look very realistic-ish. I don't even think I can show you right now because my CPU would probably poop itself. Oh, actually, yeah, you can see the motion blur. So this is what happens when things move super fast. And it's just easier on the eyes when you're having a lot of like moving parts in an animation. But here's the thing though, like as you can see, this is like very raw, very bare. So I really wanted to add something more to it. So I went into Adobe After Effects with the goal of adding more particles. Now, people who use Blender will say Blender can do particles just fine. Why did you use up? I am more comfortable with Adobe After Effects than I am with Blender. Blender, modeling, animating, cool. But when it comes to like doing shaders and particular things like that, especially when it's flat things, it's super easier for me to do it in Adobe After Effects. For example, a silver knife, I needed to add that little shine in the back, and that took like a couple seconds to make. I have a separate composition for it, and this is what it looks like. And as you can see, it's just 3 little layers. Gold one has its own shine and also some particles floating. So I needed a particle emitter. If I remember, I use the filter called Particle World or Particle Worlds. I don't remember, but that's what we see behind gold right there. For diamond, I wanted something white, but also, you know, shiny and all that. So I had to do double shine, which is this initial shine right there. So I'm basically creating a rough texture and then using lens distortion to pull it out, to stretch it out. And then for those, I'm using a particle. To add some color on the outside here, I'm using a chromatic aberration effect. And then I'm just flipping the hue at the same time. So it looks like it's just shining. And then on shine number 2, I just added some extra little shine. Oh yeah, I also keyframed the rotation on that. So it, you know, it doesn't stay on the same place. And finally, titanium was the most fun because I actually wanted it to be special. I knew that I would do the sound design so it sounded just slightly different. But for titanium, since it's gonna be the rarest at like 1% rarity, I knew that I wanted the box to actually show a little bit of chromatic aberration with a shifting hue so that you can kind of anticipate that you actually got it. I know games like Apex will have that shine part basically be a different color, so you can know if you got something epic and all of that, but I only wanted that on the titanium one. And as you can see there, like the specific shine is something else. I just blasted a ton of particles and I got this to be like, and yeah, it was so much fun working on this. It took me 3 weeks to finish this in total, but I learned so much. Look at that. Ain't she a beauty? I love this so much. The sound design, as you can see here, was actually made inside of After Effects, which is not for the weak. I will probably never do that ever again. All right, so that was the basics of the creative part. Now let's go step by step on the sub actions. So in order to create a group, you just right click and you click add group. And then if you want to put stuff in the group, I believe you can click on the group and then right click and then add your sub actions. If not, what you can do is click on any sub action and then move to group, and it will give you a list of your groups, right? So just put it in a group. Once you've done that, once you have one group, all I did after that was duplicate and then go line by line, double click, and then switch my sources. So let's zoom in and see what's in there. What's inside the bag? First thing I wanted to do is switch the text. You'll find this under OBS, sources, set text GDI or set GDI text. So this will modify the text source, okay? What does mine do? Mine has a variable. So percentage user percentage. So whoever triggered it, it's going to put their name. Then I press return and then I typed my prompt, right? Got a bronze knife because we're in the bronze group. And that's it. That's all it is. You just make sure it's the right scene, the right source, and you got it. So if you have any issues with the action that I give you, all you have to do is double click, make sure you select the right source, the right scene, and you're good to go. Click OK. Okay, now step 2 is play that bronze video. We're in the bronze group after all. So you usually find this under OBS, sources, set source visibility state. You're gonna pick the scene, the source, and you're gonna set it to visible to make it visible, which is what's written here. Remember, bronze is the only one that needs to be lowercase. Then after that, what happens? We have 3 seconds before the case actually opens, right? So we put a delay for 3 seconds. You find this under core delay. That's it. You type 3000 milliseconds. Okay. Now after 3 milliseconds, what happens? We want the text to become visible. So set source visibility state visible. Okay. How many seconds between now, once the text becomes visible, and the end of the animation? About 5,500 milliseconds. So we set another delay. Right click, core, delay, 5,500 milliseconds. Okay. At this point, the animation is over. What do we want to happen? Oh, we want that text to be hidden now because we don't need it anymore. And then we want that video to be hidden now. So same thing, right click, OBS, sources, set source visibility state, except this time you put it on hidden instead of visible. And guess what, y'all? That's it. That's all it is. Not really. Once you have all your groups, so a different group that does the exact same action just for different sources. So of course, my silver text is going to say got a silver and is going to pick the right video, which is silver. Now, what I need to do is make sure that my action itself is set to random. You can right click and then click on random, meaning that it will play whenever this action comes into play, it's triggered. It will play a random group within that action. Okay, very important. Now, how do we determine how often those groups will show up or the chances of one specific group being played or triggered? You right click on the group and then you set the weight, and that is a percentage. So weight 60 is for bronze. So you have a 60% chance of pulling bronze every time. For silver, 30. Now gold, we're getting in the rare territory, it's 6. Diamond is a 3%. And titanium, you guessed it, 1% chance. It's the rarest. I tested this during my stream and a lot of people were throwing in ideas and all that. And yes, everything you think, oh, could it? Yes, it can. Do the work, make it happen, all right? I worked 3 weeks on the assets. I gave them to you for free. I gave you the streamerbot action and explain how it works. Anything you want to customize, you can do it right here. For example, let's say that I want to implement also putting in chat that message that appears on screen, right? How would I do that? If it's Twitch chat, for example, you would probably go right click, Twitch, chat, and then send message to channel. What would be that message? Well, that exact same text, right? It would be user except you don't have to return to line. Got a bronze knife. What a loser. Don't put that. Don't put that. And then click OK. And we can see it appear here. You want to make sure it's in the right order. What you can do is probably make it wait until it opens. So after the first delay, and place it right there. Nice. Now, let's hope that I actually pull bronze and we can test it. And Nightbot is still going to freak out about that specific command. I need bronze and I pull diamond. All right. There you go. And you can see in chat, it says the thing. It says the thing. This is the name of the person. Got a bronze knife. What a loser. Wow. Again, whatever you're going to use to trigger it, make sure you put a cooldown, a user cooldown, a global cooldown, or whatever you want, but at least 10 seconds in between people can redeem it, right? Now, for people who are extra familiar with streamerbot, you'll see that I have it in its own queue. You can create a queue for it. So you can go to action queues, go to queues, and then create a specific queue. That way it can count exactly like what it's doing, and it's not gonna, well, it's gonna try not to overlap too much. I've had overlap when I didn't have a cooldown. So that's why I'm urging you, hey, put a cooldown. But I'm guessing if you have a global cooldown, you shouldn't need the queue. But hey, since you're smart and you watch the video up until here, if it's still overlapping, then you know you have to put it in a queue. And you can do this by right-clicking, go to queue, and then put it in whatever queue you created. And that should be it. You should now be not only ready to go, but understand exactly how it works and how to create yours. That 3D animation is just video files. If you're one of the people who's already typed probably in the comments, I don't like CSGO knives or whatever. It can be anything. It can really be anything. That specific animation is not part of the whole RNG with streamerbot. You can put flowers, you can put bananas. It also doesn't have to be a video. It can be just an image. So you can create yours and really, really customize it. Make it exactly the way you want. It can even be just sounds. It doesn't even have to be visual. You can make streamerbot play different sounds based on RNG. You can record yourself being like bronze, silver, gold. You can do anything. All I wanted to teach you is RNG with streamerbot because I learned about it by watching a YouTube video. That being said, I'm very proud of the animation. I'll probably keep it in my chat, so make sure you follow me on Twitch if you want to see it in action. And I'll probably be implementing other stuff that I like for my own stream that I will probably only share with my stream. My goal is to keep it as simple as possible. Finally, if you don't want to do any of that and you would still like to have like a little something on your stream that's interactive, there's a game called Lurkbait Twitch Fishing. And yeah, people can type a command and it will cast a line and they will pull different items with different sets of rarity. They have a bunch of options, a bunch of settings that you can customize, you know, to an extent. It is a complete game after all. But yeah, this game is the major inspiration that I got in the first place that made me want to make my own. And once I learned about RNG, I was like, oh, all I have to do is just do the animation and then set it in streamerbot. If this video does well, which I doubt it will, I might make other themes, other animations on other themes. So share it with your streamer friends.